Hey YouTube, Jay Walligator here. When I first started this job, it was difficult to find any good videos that weren't just like a bunch of dummies or whatever. Sorry if you're one of them guys. To tell me with any kind of coherentness about mixing mortar here in the United States of America. So what I'm choosing to do is just make a little video here. Doesn't matter what brand. This is some stuff I got here in North Carolina. It's type S. So you take your Cobalt mixer. It's the cheapest mixer, but the best one on the market for like something that might be like a portable contractor grade. Maybe you can get something cheaper from like Harbor Freight or somebody. But I got this from Lowe's for, I don't know, $2.99 before tax. So, and I like it. It's powerful. It's doing what it needs to do. So here's what I've got. I've got a basin up top with water in a pump. And because all I have is rainwater out this job. I turn the pump on, and then that gives me pressure on my hose. I've filled up a little bit of water here. And what we do in the United States is what the code is here in North Carolina anyway, is 3-1-1 ratio. It's a 3 sand, 1 type S, 1, but a little less than 1 for the water. So let's turn this on, and you see it's at this angle, because if you don't have the angle, then the fins won't get down into the water enough for it to agitate properly. Alright, so I just put what I feel like is the good amount of water in here, and you can see my level is, what I judge at is where the fin touches right here, that's where the water level is. And that gives me a decent enough batch to just talk to you guys about it, I suppose. Like I said, it was difficult for me to find any information. People talk about shovel pulls, and I was scared to do that being an amateur. So don't be scared is the key. So let's go ahead and pop this mortar open, and I'll show you what I do here. And I can see why they use shovels. It's just I don't feel like putting a shovel full inside of there from the ground. Putting the bag in at all at once doesn't give you, since you can't mix the whole load of a bag inside this mixer, you can't put the whole bag in, and sometimes you might not want that much, being an amateur, but not like it's flashing off or whatever. Okay, so I got the bag open, and I don't know where I got this scoop. My buddy's scoop. It's awesome. It's a gallon or so. So I got a clump in here. The bag got wet. It's getting cold here, and there's a little bit of dew hitting now. So hopefully I can use what I have left before it's too bad. So I put it in. I put my knee on the back. I grab the scoop to guide it, and just put my body weight on it to get an adequate scoop. And you try to get the same looking scoop. So one, I dumped it in. I should have showed you dumping it in, but you know how to dump it in. So I'm going to do 2 scoops, and that gives me scooping 3 or 2 sets of 3 or 6 scoops of sand. So I have my sand sitting here, same scoop, put my knee on it, try to get the same type of scoop you got as far as quantity. Mixing it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see where that got us with the water amount. You can tell we're going to need more. So let's go with 2 more scoops. You might want to go with just 1 at a time, and then 3 scoops of sand. 1 is a big scoop. Set the count for that. 1. And close one. 2. Okay, so now I need to put 6 scoops of sand in there, and you see more granulous. Doing, you ever make bread, cut in any kind of dough, getting the peas going on here. Let's get 6 scoops of sand and see where that gets us. Leaf. Try to get your leaves out. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Okay. Now you notice lots of sand in there right now. So you're gonna say, well, shoot, that's pretty thick. Well, of course it is. I put too much dry mix and not enough water. So that's part of mixing this stuff, is that you have to realize that and recognize it and then fix your problem. So what the heck do we do? Well, let's put some water on it. Turn my switch on. You don't want to kill it, because a little bit goes a long way with this junk as far as water goes. And there's a process during the mixing of concrete mixes, and I believe it'd be all concrete mixes. It's called emulsification. So emulsification is a grand word for getting something wet. So all those little molecules in there, they have to absorb water. Well, I don't know how the fucking the science of it works, but it has to get wet. Those dry molecules have to get wet, or dry ingredients have to get wet. So you'll see that it's pretty thick now. Here's a test for you. We'll see how to test it. Scoop in there, and you can see there's still a bunch of sand that's not mixed yet. So I scoop it around with this. There's a piece of clay. Clay out is underneath of the sand. I'm getting at the bottom of the pile. Yeah. So anyway, you guys get the gist of it. If you've been searching on YouTube and you're an amateur for this stuff, like I am, then you will know that it's difficult to find any kind of good little instructional videos. It's not like some super official guy or some tutorial for a concrete company trying to teach their idiots something. A little more water. So, don't forget about your emulsification. Give that water time to work, because you'll put a little bit in there and it'll be a little more than you thought later, or a little less. Due to that process, it's kind of really finicky, to be honest with you. So you just give it a little dab, let it work. It's not going to dry on you real quick. It's not going to flash up. Unless it was really hot out, I suppose. It might turn to rock on you if you use warm water. But there we go. Have a good day.